In this tutorial, I'll show you how to motion track in Blender. Let's click Open to import the images. I'll share the download link in the description below. I have converted a video clip into images, because my Blender crashed when I was using video clips. Let's Control-click number 38 to bypass that image. If I press space to preview the animation, that won't work well. Also, do you remember we had 140 or so images, but the default end frame is set to 250. When you're motion tracking, first two things to remember is to set the scene frames and to prefetch. Click this button to set scene frames. Click Prefetch to prefetch the footage, so we can preview it clearly. These ducks live at the lake near my house. They used to be ducklings and they were not fully grown when they were filmed. A lot of park visitors fed them, so they were wondering whether I was there to feed them, but I never feed wildlife animals. Anyway, the next thing to do is finding a spot that will exist throughout all frames. We need 8 markers to track the motion, and they all need to exist in the scene from the beginning to the end. We can use the Add button or Control-click to place a marker. We can move it by dragging from the middle, and scale it by dragging the handle. Press Alt and S together to open the marker region indicator. We can resize the indicator like this, and we must do so later when we're tracking the scene. Type X to remove the selected tracker. The most important part is finding the correct marker spot. Play the scene and find a spot that won't disappear or be hidden by anything, not even for a brief moment. If I place a tracker right here, this spot is going to disappear when I play the video clip. That's not a good spot. Try to find the best spot that won't disappear nor move out of the frame. The third and the fourth trackers are good, because they're visible from the beginning to the end. So again, avoid spots that will move out of the frame. We have a duck that is moving forward. Any spots that will get blocked by the duck is not a good spot. This region is good, because it's stationary and doesn't get blocked by anything. If I put a tracker right here, the duck will interfere and that will confuse the tracking system. By the way, we can type L to lock the selected marker in the scene. I'll place a marker here, and show you how the tracking process works. Click this button, or press Ctrl+T to track. The green and the red lines indicate the tracking status, and they must exist from the beginning to the end on all frames. We got lucky there, because we didn't have to track again. Let me show you what happens when the lines get cut. Here is our second marker. Let's track that. The lines got cut near the end. That means Blender couldn't track the spot properly. The green and the red lines at the bottom got visibly cut as well. We must navigate to the very end of the line, scale the marker region, and track again. This is the most difficult part of the tracking process. That worked. We need to place total of 8 trackers like this in the scene. This is what I have arranged on the prototype save file. The last 3 near the bottom are also being used as a floor. Once we have all 8 markers active from the beginning to the end, then we can continue. Once they're ready, click the Solve Camera Motion button. After that, click the Setup Tracking Scene at the bottom. Also, select the last 3 trackers near the bottom, and click the Floor button to set up the floor. After that, place any meshes in the scene where there would be no overlapping issue with other objects in the scene. To adjust the camera, select the camera and type R and Z to rotate the camera in the scene. Find the best spot to place a mesh this way. Here is an example with the Pac-Man character we have created from the previous tutorial. What Blender's Motion Track did was simple. It matched the original footage's camera motion with Blender's own camera. This is the end of the tutorial. Thank you for watching.